Good day. Today, I want to talk to you about the responsibilities of a school counselor. Overall, to give you a picture of if you are someone who's aspiring school counselor or is already into school counseling and you're looking for empowering yourself with more skills, I think this information would really be useful for you. To take responsibility as a school counselor, I think there are various multitasking things which we need to do. For example, for every child you meet in the school, it's very important to maintain a case file. And your case file, you put in your an intake form. Then, if you when you give a referral to a psychiatrist in rare cases. In some cases, if you're giving a referral to a special educator or an occupational therapist, so that referral form needs to be taken in. And we're not giving it directly to the child but to the parent. And suppose you're terminating a particular counseling case after certain sessions because you saw improvements in that particular child, then you collect a termination form as well. So when we are generally working with people below the age of 18, it's added responsibility because they are children, and the consent of the primary caregiver in many things when you're giving referrals or something of harm to the child is happening. It could be any physical harm, psychological harm that the child could be facing either in the family environment or at school. It's very important for the teachers and parents to know about what the child is going through. And generally, children are referred to counselors for academic problems and behavioral problems. Behavioral problems could be anything like hitting other children or not listening to instructions in class, distracting the class, or anything else. Like in some scenarios, like we call it as picking, though they mention it as stealing or something like that. No, talking irrelevant adult stuff with other children because they watched a video, and such things are brought to the ears of the teacher. So such cases are some behavioral problems which we take into consideration, and sometimes a expression of anger with teachers as well as fellow classmates, and not maintaining discipline in the playground, such things. And when we look into academic problems, they can be because of two reasons. One thing is maybe they're emotionally disturbed because of whatever is happening at home or at certain incidents or situations at school. It also can be that they have a learning challenge. It could be that the particular child has a reading or a writing challenge which needs to be addressed. If you are a psychologist who's trained in special education, it's fine for you to do a Charnel reading, writing, the spelling age test, and just looking for that areas of development. Many schools are equipped with special educator who can help children with phonics to every stage of what needs to be done in order to correct their vocabulary, the way they're spelling, pronunciation, and even the ability to write properly. So there is a certain syllabus which can help children to deal with it. And my first job was a special educator, so I know how to provide remedial training. I think we cannot stick to only certain things that I will do and certain things that I will not do when you're generally getting into counseling. If there is an availability of a special educator, we will utilize it. If it is not that, it is not you can just take in that responsibility if the school is fine with it, to go with conducting some camps where you can do these assessments and help those children. We're not here going to label any child. We are not here to put them into a category, but just to help them so that they can do better in academics. We can also speak about it to the parent, and if we feel that there is a challenge with the intelligent quotient of the child, the memory of the child, then we can give a referral to a clinical psychologist who can give us a report, which would be helpful to get some exemptions in certain subjects when it comes to CBSE and ICSE, as well as the ICS. I mean the IESE. And career counseling is one important thing that we can do to know the aptitude of the child, to know the interest of the child, and to know the personality of the child. We can conduct the assessments, and based on that we can also like provide them with the availabilities of courses as per our knowledge, what we know, some links or booklets which we know, which we know that the information is right. And maybe I created a gathering information from the different universities here in the south. I just collected that data and I just made a booklet to help to pass on that message, so that would be helpful for students to check in of what group they want to take after 10th standard, based on what are the availabilities for the mentioned groups after standard 12. So that is one help which we can do. And when we are working with very younger children, like first standard, second standard, it's very difficult to counsel someone. Generally we can take up something like play therapy, if you're someone trained in it, doing play therapy and using expressive arts therapy modalities like creative speaking, writing, visual arts, storytelling, and what else, drama, role play, music, dance. So such modalities to connect with the child and gather the information. If you're a trained professional in that, it will be like very useful for you. You can also be in a place to conduct the necessary assessments and get the information you require in order to, it is helpful for you to plan the next session. And structuring the sessions for every child who comes on their own as well as who is being referred is very important, and making a note of on what are the dates you have reviewed the child and what are the modalities you used in the child, and your feedback from the session is very important. And those case files maintained will be very useful even when the child is moving on to the next class, from maybe from 3rd standard to 4th standard. When you are still the same school's counselor, it's easy for you to like have a review, and sometimes until then it won't be necessary for you to have follow-ups. Maybe it's over, but still, even when you're not in that place, for the next person who comes and take charge in your place to know what work we did with the child, it's very important for us to maintain a proper notes about every session that we conducted, and attach every sheet of work that the child has done or whatever tests you have taken for the child. And I think to spread some awareness, it's good for us to conduct some group sessions with teachers regarding learning disabilities and behavior of children, behavioral problems of children, and how to handle them, certain suggestions, tips as a group to connect. It would be nice. And similarly with the parents as well, about how they can help their children at home, how they can spend quality time with them at home. And parenting is a two-way responsibility. Most of the time, even when it's a parent-teacher meeting or the counselor calls for the parent, is generally the mother who comes, and many times the fathers are not being part of the process of whatever challenge the child is going through, because I think in our society we consider that the woman is responsible totally for the child. Maybe the man would only provide the finances as a general attitude, but that I think is something that we need to change. And it's something like with both the parents' support, it is very easy, it becomes easy to handle children. And the two children these days are fall a easy prey to different kinds of negativity around us due to the exposure they get. And I want to bring to your notice that video gaming addiction is brought under mental disorders according to the DSM, that is Diagnostic Statistical Manual 5. Video gaming addiction too is brought under mental illness or disorders, like how alcohol addiction and nicotine addiction, that is cigarette addiction, or any other kind of substance addiction exists. So whatever is necessary to help the children to come out of it, the behavioral modification techniques which we can apply and the methods we can provide with the support of the parent, it's definitely possible for us to bring the child out from whatever they're going through. And a proper structure is very important when we start working on a little complicated cases, and to have awareness of where it is leading to. The success of a counseling session generally depends on the change which that particular individual is able to see, or people around them are able to see, in terms of thought, in terms of emotions, and in terms of behavior. All the three are very important, and I appreciate every school counselor who takes these responsibilities and gives the best to every child they meet, because we're making a huge difference in that individual's life as well as to the society. Thank you so much.